Hello everyone, I'm Overhaul, and today we'll be making a review of Fire Force Chapter 240. The usual disclaimer at the beginning of the videos. I'm not a kid-specific channel. Although the content I produce might look like it's for kids, it's not because I'll most likely start describing things that are either too mature, talking about things that are too mature, or just using words that are too mature. So I would strongly advise you not to watch this if you're a child. As for everyone else, let's get into the review. So this chapter 5 force is pretty much like the who are gonna be some of the main players in the final battle type of thing. You know how like in My Academia we had like that little chapter to kind of like just showcase like if what where are every heroes in every group in the raid against the Panam Liberation Front, or who are all the forces who are gonna be fighting for the resistance against Kaido in One Piece, and what is going to be that chapter that has the Magic Knights and the Spirit Guardians set off to fight the Spirit Kingdom when eventually when it comes out. Yeah, this is pretty much what this chapter is supposed to be. Kind of like giving us a good idea of who's gonna be, and still not revealing all the big players, or not all the big players are still arriving. So yeah, we'll get to them while we get to them. Now we begin the chapter where we're basically getting back to the with Ugon basically, the character from Company 4 that we saw in the second season when they went to investigate the Chinese peninsula. So yeah, we see him noticing the Company 8's matchbox, and he goes there and asks them what's the rush, because I mean he gets the fact there's a bunch of infernos, but it seems like they're even more in a rush for something else. They probably like a bunch of infernos on the bridge they were all staying at. Probably like most of the people who were still not turning to infernos or something. But it's, I guess, very noticeable. Or maybe he's like questioning why are they so much in a rush since they don't really have a way outside of news reports to know where the infernos are. So he asks what's the rush. Hino answers him it's an emergency, and Arthur gets out of the top of the matchbox and tells him we're having a quest and you're coming with us, which I guess is just like there for like, because I feel like Ogun is like one of those characters that's like really liking the fan base. Like he's like Benny Maul, although Benny Maul has nothing really to do with this part of the story. People still want to have him show up and still have the fight, like still want to have him be focused on. So that's what I think Ugan is basically like. The fans want to see him fight in the final battles against the White Clads, and first they just say, "Can you come here, okay, and you fight." That's basically what he says offer, and Ugan basically just says, "Oh, but request like that, how can I deny?" Basically, like referencing how there's no real reason for him to be there. I mean, he doesn't even know the situation. In fact, until like somewhere close to Amaterasu, since we see a sign, uh, Ugon doesn't even like know exactly where they're going, why they're heading to Amaterasu. So, and he even references like the Infernos. Like, shouldn't we focus on the Infernos all over us? But Alpha makes his like usual delusional shtick with saying, "We are heading to my castle of Camelot." That's where the White Clads are, and they're gonna activate the Cataclysm. But no, Alfred doesn't even mention the Cataclysm, just White Clads attacking his castle. It's another arrow. Basically tells her, it just speaks because I guess she can hear everything they're talking about, which I guess makes sense. And she's like, the White Clads are invading Materasu to start the Cataclysm, which I'm guessing is because she's like the one who doesn't really understand what is going up with Arthur, which makes sense. But I feel like even in this chapter, she kind of does know what's like going on. Like she knows Arthur will not like answer at like exactly what they're doing. Like he's gonna have his whole delusional thing, which I kind of find funny. The fact that there was not even like a moment. Why is he talking about Camelot? But yeah, anyways, they arrive in the Amaterasu, and they basically like set up and say, "Oh, we're the first ones here." And everyone says, yeah, we are here first, but they're still gonna show up. Like, they still need to activate the switch, basically. So we have Vulcan, like, kind of standing and kind of looking over Amaterasu, since that's his, family's creation, his invention. And that seems to be semi-known by some people, but not all. I think it's more that Fire Force and the higher ranks from Hajima are doing much to know this. But yeah. Now we have the character, and now another thing that we get I would like to mention is that Lake actually mentions the white arrows they saw in Chinese Peninsula, which are honestly something I feel like is even more forgotten than the key to Amaterasu, if we are really thinking about. Because, like, the key to Amaterasu was like, I feel like someone was always like expecting it down the line more at the end to play. But I don't think anyone was like really mentioning. Like, even I didn't think they were important. One thing I would like to mention though is that there's a character named Arrow who wears a pure white robe. Like, even now she still wears a pure white robe. Who's literally part of the white class, who probably knows what the white, who at least the high ups know what the white arrows are supposed to be, at least a couple of them. Like Yuno, Evangelist, Sumeria, and possibly Giovanni. And there are also white arrows. Like, I don't wanna overanalyze that aspect, but I do find it funny how that's literally the case. How it literally goes one to one in the chapter. Like, it literally goes Arrow talking about how the white glare will show up to Lick asking about their white arrows. This reminds me of a joke that I read on Reddit when the episode 16 of season 2 came out, where one made a reference to the whole, like, every day, Arrow is being abused by a crazy electric user chick. If you donate $10 a day, you can save so many lives. And, like, are we seriously going for this? Like, we get, like, literally a bunch of arrows. We're gonna find out arrows some kind of like is it kind of like a sub-type human or something? I mean, I would like that. Like, I would honestly love to see, like, the end of the series have, like, Joker or someone, like, selling a bunch of arrows off to people. Like, this is body suit arrow, this is maid arrow, this is nurse arrow, this is big sis arrow, the kinky teacher arrow. Like, I would just love to see something like that. But it's probably just like a coincidence, honestly. It's probably just not supposed to be anything major. Or at least I'm guessing couldn't be. I mean, I guess I would honestly wouldn't be surprised if there is something major. But I don't believe there's any like build up between Arrow and those white arrows. But yeah. So we have Obi talking to Vulcan, telling him that due to the fact they have to fight the White Clad, they aren't going to be able to send him, well, Tamaki or Maki or someone like that. But Vulcan tells him it's okay since he has backup on his way, which are you and Lisa, who have been riding here on a bicycle, which I find hilarious. Like, let's think about this. Like, there's a bunch of Infernos all over the place, and who knows who's fighting them right now. And yet, those two came here on a bicycle. It's really adorable, even, like, those two panels with them. It's just hilarious. So, yeah. Now we have Vulcan and Lisa, and you setting up to go to the Amaterasu, which I'm guessing that's where they're gonna fight Giovanni, even though we didn't see Giovanni this chapter. Maybe the next chapter we're gonna see him, although I'm not sure. Honestly, I can imagine there like being a little bit of a gap before we see Giovanni. Although I would not be surprised if we like at the end of the next chapter or in a few chapters we get to see like Giovanni show up and start attacking. So yeah, we have that little group separating to go fight. Well, technically to inspect Amaterasu, but let's be real here, to fight Giovanni alone. And now we have the rest of the Fire Force. Now, Licht is the logical one, and he asks them, what is our plan, basically? And Obi tells him to just straight up fight. AKA, we want to have 1v1s, and we'll have an easier matches if we go straight head on. Nobody questions this logically because it would make more sense to like ambush them. But Obi says that considering the mission is to keep people away from Tarasu, also, but something I forgot to mention is that there were a bunch of security guards asking the company aid, but they are really nothing. I think they're just there for Okubu to have a little joke moments with Ugon and Maki and Hinoa and to like just be realistic. The fact there would be someone guarding the most important building in the entire city. Like that's really all that it is. If we're being honest ourselves, maybe it's gonna play a little role later on, but right now it was just a joke. But yeah, so it basically says that our mission doesn't really work well with the ambush type of thing. So we're just gonna attack, go be the front line defense. It's just like don't let them cross the line, basically. So we didn't get the rundown of how the characters gonna fight. I really don't think this is gonna like matter at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get like immediately split. Like I can honestly imagine the next chapter will be when we change things completely. So we have saying he and Arrow will like shoot the enemies first and take them down because they are long range attacks and honestly they would probably work the best together considering like everyone knows how dangerous their abilities together are. Like she's aware. Hino is also aware of them since he was the one who did that trick. So I'm pretty sure that Arrow and Hinoa will work together well, especially in the net right now who there seems to be just a bunch of infernos to get rid of. Get about them in a second. Then we have Maki and now something I want to mention before I get into Maki Tamaki is that we do see a panel of Arrow with them where she doesn't say anything, just like a panel next to Hinoa, which honestly I'm guessing that's just there to like show who's gonna be like partnered up and who's probably gonna like get separated later down the line. Like I feel like we're having like groups together and they're gonna get even more separated. So we have Arrow and that's all I'm guessing that panel with Arrow is. I mean, we don't even see her. It's like really weird there, but I'm guessing just to fill up space, honestly. Like, I can honestly imagine they'll just make more sense to like just fill it up. But yeah, then we see Maki and Tamaki saying what they're gonna do since they are more versatile and more hand-to-hand fighters. They're gonna be then the next line of defense if someone gets past Arrow and Hinoa, which makes sense considering they're again snipers, but they can't just like randomly start firing everyone because then they're in danger of putting Obi in danger. So Maki and Tamaki are gonna be the next front fighters. Then then Ugon and Alpha are gonna fight the powerhouses. Now I am wondering if this is supposed to be like kind of like showing how the shrink range goes. Like it goes Arrow and Hinoa, then Maki and Maki, then Ugon and Alpha in terms of spell scaling. But I'm guessing just like the ability wise, that's really it. I mean the explanations are pretty logical. Although I would say Alpha and Tamak and Ugon are probably the strongest two. I would question Maki being a little more up there, but it's nothing really. So yeah, I'm questioning what Obi is gonna do. He's probably going to be like the last like wall to protect everyone. Like and also Licht is not really combative, but yeah. So then we have Charon and Ritsu showing up. Which I honestly expected them to show up. Like it was kind of hinted at them showing up, and it would kind of make sense. Like they're some of the strongest fighters they have. And then Charon references like the Fire Force. What are they doing here? They aren't supposed to be showing up here. And Rachel tells them to shut up, and they kind of expected this. I'm guessing that even if they didn't expect Arrow to like mention anything, which is weird that they don't mention her, but honestly, I'm guessing this just proves that Arrow is not some brainwash double crossing or whatever Magiga they want with her, because they just don't even like because Sharon is shocked and it states that it was expecting but it wasn't like guaranteed. So yeah, and also she told him to stop commenting on every little detail. I mean he should have probably like predicted this at this point. I mean there have been enough occasions where they show up. They should be realizing this. And then we see Rachel has like a huge army of Infernos, like a bunch of different body types of Infernos. Now I'm guessing none of them are like the two we've already seen in season 2 of Fire Force. You know, the one with Taku and the one in the first episode, because they're a lot smaller, but I'm guessing they are semi-powerful. Although honestly, they could just be regular Infernos now I think about it. But yeah, we have them fight. We have them fight. I'm guessing they're just gonna be like a bit of a delay of fights, like just something for characters to do until their final battles. Which now let's talk about the final battles, and that is the final page in this chapter where we see Arthur commenting on, telling he's here and that he is Dragon. And yeah, I'm sure that everyone who wanted the Dragon Arthur rematch is right now losing their shit and probably writing on Twitter, Reddit, or whatever website they use. Oh yeah, Dragon v Arthur rematch. Let's go. Now I would like to mention that Dragon and Arthur honestly seem like the Zoro's battles in One Piece. You know, the second strongest type of character thing. You know, that type of thing. So I'm not sure if then we're gonna get the battle right now immediately, but it's possible to we'll get it immediately. I mean, it's the possibility. But considering the fact the next chapter is called the Guardian's Path or the Guardian's Path, I'm not exactly remembering the title, but I know it's the Guardian and Path, which I'm guessing is like supposed to be referencing to Charon, Ritsu, and Arrow. Well, since they're the only gods yet confirmed. Like I said, I'm sure the characters are gonna show up, like the Cataclysm Specialist Force. I'm guessing they will show up. I mean, that's kind of the whole thing, that they make sure that the switch will be activated, so this Cataclysm can start. Giovanni will show up. In fact, the whole thing that Vulcan separated with his family from the 8 even more proves that. The other companies, Joker and his friends are gonna show up. Like, there are a bunch of characters that are probably gonna show up. It's just they're not showing up now. So I honestly God imagine these characters are, so I know for a fact it's not gonna be everyone. So again, I can honest to God imagine Dragon will show up now. But we're not gonna get it for like 20 chapters or something. Like, I know all of you are gonna be pissed that we don't get Dragon v Arthur, but let's be real here. You do wanna kinda like space things out. Or maybe this is just gonna be a way for Arthur to not be much of a help in later on against the rest of the enemies. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I would definitely say Dragon is an opponent that would probably like put Arthur to his limits. So yeah. So yeah, again, I'm not expecting no, and I think then I should also mention the fact that no one mentions Arrow is a kind of hint that there was going to be like that kind of scenario more. Honestly, the way I see the chapters going, the next one is like Ritsu and Chara, like, or maybe Arrow like tries to first speak to Chara and Ritsu, since you know they're all guardians, and you know she probably knows them much better than the Fire Force does, so she might be like, wait, like maybe she'll be like, wait, like maybe you know I said, oh yeah, let's start soon. Wait, they're guardians as well. So maybe if we told them the plan about how we can get our pillars back, they might listen. Like, and they should probably like tell them like, look, if we stop the cataclysm and make the people, I don't know, I'm guessing that the idea is then to prove to people that Shino is a hero, we can bring our pillars back and we can serve them for the rest of our lives instead of working on making sure their lives end. Like, that's what I imagine, like, it's going to be the next chapter. And then, honestly, I can imagine, like, Fier showing up and kind of, like, being like, oh, what a desperate plea from a pathetic weakling. Seriously, like I said, I believe in the last chapter, the final battles, I'm pretty sure are going to be Dragon v Arthur, Giovanni versus Vulcan's family, Arrow versus Fieri. Like, those are, I would say, set matches. I'm pretty sure. Like, you could say that maybe the Fieri is too strong for Arrow, but again, I can imagine it being like past your limits type of thing. But yeah, I imagine the next chapter is going to be more of a conversation between the Guardians. Like maybe there'll be a little bit fights, but not like anything major. So yeah. Now this was my review of chapter 240 of Fire Force. I hope you tell me what you think of it in the comments below, and tell me what you think is gonna happen in the next chapter. So I hope you like this video. I hope you're gonna leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. And that's it. I can't wait to see all people next time. Bye.